Brian Fletcher was with us briefly, but any leaving is a loss. And we come to doubt God's decision. We wonder why he lets
any more contracts through the band. It's cash up front or no deal.
We look for reasons, for some sense.
You think you're in a position to turn down work now, do you?
But often we are left only confused.
Lois?
It's okay. Get your feet up. Can you get some water?
Only Brian's tracks?
And here.
Unless Albert and whoever else came by canoe and Brian got in. They could have taken him or killed him here.
Doesn't explain the rifle.
It does if Brian was meant to use it on me. Dogs have been up and down that side. There's no scent to follow. Brian didn't go wandering. Albert set this up.
You ever seen her just collapse like that?
No, it could be the flu. Maybe something she ate.
It's all this friggin' ministering is what it is. He's staying up half the night worrying about Vince Prevo's daughter who's worried she won't pass grade 6.
That's what she wants.
No. She was never that strong, you know?
That's why she needs your support. Instead of your bitching.
Oh my God, Brian. Let's go, Cecil. This way. Thanks, Joe. I got him. Hey, you moving the search?
Got a 6-year-old lost up near Nahanni Butte. 3 of us are headed up there.
What about the team on the plateau?
They're staying. You need help with that? Hey, if he's out there, we'll find him. He's one of ours. No one's given up.
Thanks.
Sorry to barge in like this.
I'm Constable Kennedy.
Staff Sergeant Jerome, Ernie.
I thought Inspector Cormier.
Felt it was better that I come in, whereas he's a bit biased by his previous discussions. I'm fresh. How are you holding up? Any contact with the staff counselors?
No, I'll be fine. My spouse is a counselor.
I lost a partner. 12 years now. Rolled a skidoo during a chase. It took them a while, but they finally managed to wrestle me off my sense of blame. You tidy up in there?
No.
He did that before he left?
Yeah, that's how he always had it. How he is. Tidy.
I understand Brian's wife left him. Some guys, that'd be enough.
I think he was killed.
While staking out poachers?
Except there weren't any poachers. I think the stakeout was a way to lure me into an ambush. I think Brian was sexually involved with a teenager, Brenda Shore. Maybe he set up, then blackmailed. When he noticed my suspicions, they told him to kill me. Except that he couldn't or wouldn't, and as a result...
They being?
Albert Golo, bootlegger, trafficker. He visited Brian here the night before. They talked about Brenda. Her name was overheard.
So, you went out there with Brian with these suspicions?
I had no other way to be sure. I had backup from a hunter, Joe Gumba. He trailed us at a distance, and when Brian and I separated, he followed Brian, but Brian disappeared. We found this rifle near his trail. The serial number was filed away. It's the one he could have used on me. It wasn't fired. Search and rescue found his shotgun where he must have switched the guns.
And the revolver?
9mm, I guess he kept it. I go into all the details in my notebook. Betty. You all right? Yeah. Staff Sergeant Jerome, Betty Moses. She set up the treatment center here.
Your name gets around. I thought you'd be bigger. 7, 8 feet.
We cut my budget. Lost another one, eh? Must be tough.
Always is. Where would I find Joe Gomba?
Coffee shop.
Nice meeting you.
Guy's good. And then play surprise that a white cop would self-destruct.
We don't know what happened.
Michelle!
One of ours?
One of mine.
Alexis food!
We're parts of the prison. You know, and this bag actually is just kind of a celebration of what care will mean to me.
Could be in any one of those areas, doesn't it?
Do you want something to eat?
This piece has all these little different parts came out of it that I didn't know about. So when I started looking at it after, those are some of the ideas that came about to be.
Here we go.
Did the work, you know, so even for myself,
Sit.
Yeah, well, I'm independent for the first time in years.
Walking in a blizzard's independent. Doesn't mean it's wise.
Is this why you're here? Give me grief?
Here to offer you a job.
A job?
Treatment center. Starting back up.
Tell me you've left your mind at the airport.
I'm in Toronto. I'm stepping over bodies. White, black, native, sleeping in the streets. I'm in Yellowknife. Drunk hits me up. It's this Indian guy I know. Used to be a welder. He's so blurred, he thinks I'm a white woman. I come here, see a bottle on a runway, lock on the door of the treatment center, and a drunk in a tank. It's a dry town. But I hear we're really beating that deficit. Anyway, job's yours if you want it.
You quit smoking. Oh, my God, I don't believe it.
Well, I still smoke. Just rub me the wrong way.
Followed his trail. Ended at the river.
You heard no shots? You saw no one else? No canoe, no Albert Golo or...
River's low at this time of year.
What do you think happened? Brian turned into a fish? The rifle you found, how was it hidden?
It wasn't. Just lying there. Nearly tripped over it.
You think he would have shot Michelle?
That man walking around with a gun. You don't know what he sees.
Dead. How?
In his eyes.
Gotta admit, I'm surprised that they're funding the center so soon after killing it. Listen, for your sake, I hope it goes, but...
It has nothing to do with my sake. You want an update on the last bunch we had scheduled for treatment? 4, still functioning. Drinking hard, but functioning. 2 in a hospital, the other one dead.
Hey, Leon said you're starting up the center.
You pull it off, more power to you.
That's not what I'm after.
What you have to realize is everyone here, their focus has changed. It's all this talk now about development, oil and gas.
Well, when the bubble breaks.
I thought I smelled something weird. No smoke, you quit. Even your clothes.
Yeah, well, they stopped when I did.
And everything else? Everything's okay?
When we get this thing off the ground, I tell you, it's...
I mean with you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Just lock me up if you catch me picking up butts out.
What? What?
You have no idea, hey, Mr. Secret Memo Man.
Hey, look, I manage as much as I'm allowed, okay? But I do what I'm told. That's my job.
So what'd you say? Get it up?
Who?
Lois! Mr. Sperm Bank. You think you're short on brain cells now. You wait until after the baby.
What? Lois, you gotta tell me these things. I mean, this affects me.
I was afraid of how you'd react. You said you didn't want children.
Maybe. Okay, yeah, I did, but well, I mean, what I meant by that was that, you know, I wasn't, you know, planning to plan my life toward having kids. That's all I meant.
You should have said that. So, what now?
Well, I guess we're gonna have a baby.
Good stuff, you guys.
Good news travels fast.
I'm glad it finally traveled to me.
You knew Brian well enough?
Well, you know, I'd patch him up when he needed it.
After, for instance, that attack some months ago?
Yeah.
Poachers, right?
Official version. More like my protector. You see, Brian came on to me. I think. I don't know, but anyway, I think Albert saw.
Albert Golo?
Mm-hmm.
Was there any resolution?
There were no charges.
No, I'm meaning were Brian and Albert resolved. Could Albert find his way to killing Brian?
Yeah, I think it's possible. But I don't think he did it.
Why?
Well, you gotta remember where Brian was at.
Where was he at?
Insomnia, depression, paranoia. I mean, we're talking Mr. Lonely Hearts here. Would not want to spend a day in that man's head.
But we can't risk getting stuck carrying the center if Mac Health pulls out again.
Let me put you to the council.
I'm not antagonistic on this thing. We got development firms banging down our door, and if we can swing the right deal, we'll expand the center. But until that time,
Get rich first, huh?
get viable.
Viable? What kind of a friggin' word is viable? Well, you got your face buried in the stocks. We got people dying for bed. I mean, dying.
You're very much on the outside here.
Everywhere you go, bullshit smells the same. Just as long as everyone is aware of your decision.
Betty! I can try and bring this up.
And what if counsel says yes? Well, we open up the books and show him nothing's there?
Why don't you go back to what you were doing?
What do you figure?
A couple thousand to finish off the inside. Most of it's in pretty good shape.
If we added rooms?
What for?
If we added rooms, 2, 3?
Depending on the size, the floor plan. What do you want in there?
What I want is an estimate.
Can't give you one without specifics. Could be 5 grand, could be 20.
Maybe you don't want the job, eh?
Hey, I'm a builder, a good one. Maybe that doesn't mean much to you.
What do you think we're doing this for anyway? Leon? Leon used to be one of the worst ones. One of those guys who figured you'd find dead from turpentine. I think your mom was bad. Half this town was hopeless drunk. Smashing each other's faces and burning stuff down. Charlie! Charlie!
Projectile puke, projectile dumps, 2 a.m. earaches, no more sleep.
He's not ready.
Man, I tell you, Harris, to see the day that that kid puts peanut butter on your fly reel.
More coffee, Jerry? On a normal night, would Brian be in here hanging out? Or was he well enough liked?
I guess, you know, comps and all.
Same with Michelle?
Oh, Michelle's different. She's from here.
And native.
Maybe that's part of it. But being white doesn't have to get you hated.
Brian was hated?
Shouldn't say hated. The guy just kind of kept to himself. He had this smile nobody trusted. Stick him in his living room, I'd have been lost.
What's the word around town about his disappearance?
Some people say wait for payday, see if he makes it in for that. I wouldn't say that, but...
Bushman don't always let you out on payday.
He was an okay guy.
Had some problems.
Don't we all? And here's mine. My baby brother's dad.
Brother?
Sister, whatever. May he make a better father than he does a bad manager.
Albert Golo. Ernie Jerome, RCMP. I'm here about the corporal. His disappearance?
So how would you call it?
What would you?
The guy was fragile. His own partner didn't trust him.
He share that with you?
Try and make an effort. Guy comes in, doesn't know which side is up.
Must have welcomed your help. You paid him a visit the night before his disappearance.
Had some concerns about Michelle. Hassling kids, breaking their spirits.
Brenda, one of those? You asked about her.
Just if there'd been any news. She took off. We lose a couple every year.
Brian have a special interest in her? Pretty kid, I hear.
You think we'd let some outside white cop come in and screw our kids?
A few discrepancies, eh? You and Brian kept a lot from each other.
He didn't trust me. After a while, I didn't trust him either.
What came first? So, everything's Albert.
This isn't personal, sir.
But bullshit. Which doesn't mean you're wrong, but we're dealing with ghosts here. Ghosts and phantom evidence. I require substantially more. And it isn't here. It isn't here. To some, your contentions would constitute slander. Theories are fine, but I need bones.
This whole thing, Michelle.
I'm following my instincts.
I wish you were. The problem is that you don't accept your
The
instincts.
problem is what Jerome will accept. He'll accept a guy gone bush, a routine drowning, a suicide. That's not what happened. I might not make it back for supper. She okay?
She just let it go. She's hitting a wall with Jerome. I think he's making her feel like she failed.
Were you telling her it's not so?
No, I'm probably just making it worse. It's a good thing that you're here.
Andrew, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, whatever.
Charlie around?
Staying over at Dallas.
Did he, say anything? Just I got a little brusque with him.
The gun was in the water here. The trail ends there. Either he dropped it during a struggle or had it drawn and dropped it when he was shot.
But you heard no shots.
They could have used a knife or a garrote, or the sound was muffled by the wind in the river.
And the body?
They took it by canoe or dragged it to deeper water. It floats downstream, snags somewhere, bears and wolves pull it ashore.
Remember this guy, this corporal in Ontario? He did it in the bathtub. Real nice guy. Left the tap running so the blood drained out. The place was spotless. Just him and a razor. But the gun's obscured and the body floats away, as you said, for the bears and wolves. That's how I was, right, Brian? Tidy?
I can't see suicide. What about the rifle we found?
Exactly. Why would he throw away a rifle? Unless he thought he had no more need.
There was no note, no suggestion of this. He would have left something.
Or else we haven't found it. You think I'm being tough on you?
No, not at all.
Ottawa called. They received a complaint that I'm putting the Lynx River Constable through hell.
Who made the call?
Someone desperate to wield their clout.
Betty.
Whatever your feelings, you'll talk to me?
Yes, absolutely.
Betty, you've had way too much coffee.
Sure, I'm excited. The solution's staring us right in the face. You take the job, we build an apartment on the back of the center. Staff housing. No more tent, no more dueling with Albert Gallo.
Betty, I don't want the job.
What does she want? What does she need?
That's an Albert line.
Well, you should know, eh? You spend what, a year with the guy? And you wind up here.
Come in. I don't know. Does anyone know what the hell is up with Betty? Because if she comes to my tent one more time to try and stir my life...
She's acting like my mom. She's okay, then angry, then happy, then sad.
Charlie, that's something else.
Listen to the kid.
No, you listen. She came here to help to reopen the treatment center, and no one gives a damn. No wonder she's angry.
You want to keep tires on the ATV, you gotta watch where you drive it.
AT, all-terrain.
I'm not buying new tires every 2 months.
A year since I changed them.
Observers welcome.
Always, Betty.
Any business needs to be cleared. We have an agenda.
Just here to listen. All this exciting talk about development.
You want to start the center back up? You need some help.
Your blessing. Your strength.
And a certain investment.
Is that what you're scared of?
Can we afford it?
This year's money is allocated.
For what?
Projects we've discussed.
Haven't agreed on that much.
But I guess if more money starts coming in, crews, roads, I can come back then.
We'll need to see something on paper.
Paper, huh? How many pages? Enough to wrap a body in?
Thank you for reminding us.
No chaco tienen.
What's next on the agenda? Harris.
Oh, did we do the ATV thing?
I could throttle Sarah. Is it nuts what she's doing, or is it me?
She's trying her best. It's a struggle.
That's a joke. That's not independence. That's a cry for help. I offer her an option. These women that let guys push them around.
That's exactly what she's not doing.
What about you? Guy comes waltzing in, yanks your strings.
Oh, so you think you'll fix it? Call Ottawa.
I thought I could help, all right?
No, you didn't. That's what gets me. I don't know what this is. That was something a kid would do.
You want to know? I'm sick of this town. Pettiness, small-mindedness, it's fear of change, fear of anything that calls for little guts.
So why are you here?
I came to help. All I get back is friggin' grief and resistance.
Where are you going?
To the motel.
Betty, let's talk about this.
What's the talk? You think I'm intrusive? I think you want to wallow in guilt. Brian was a walking accident. You want to carry that? Fine, have fun.
I'd be happy to take it on. I built the center. Just be good to know for sure in case other work comes up.
We've made no formal commitment to her, at least I haven't. Harris.
He was out of the airstrip.
Doing what?
Don't know. Didn't ask.
That's nuts. He wouldn't.
He's in Simpson now, and he's ticketed through to Vancouver.
Did you talk to him?
I checked with the airport. Flies out tonight. Maybe it's an emergency. I don't know.
That's bull.
People return to the eastern Arctic in search of the bowhead whale.
It's open.
They're shooting them not with harpoons, but with cameras. They don't plan to take the baleen and whale back home, just tiny skin samples.
Stuff me and Andrew made. Mexican. You like Mexican?
Yeah, I like Mexican. Wouldn't mind being by myself.
How come you're so angry?
If you don't like it, you can go.
I don't like it.
Well, what do you know? Big man. Man, we were so wrong.
God, I'll break your arm.
I kicked you in the nuts, but you probably got nothing there. You better run away before your kid finds out.
Search and rescue?
You called in sick a week and a half ago.
So I was sick. I took a few extra days. I had 'em coming. I'm fine.
You're nowhere near fine.
You're a cop, not a therapist. Stick to what you know.
We're used to getting fed lines, too.
Yeah, and put the boot in. Look down on anybody who's got any weakness.
I'm not looking down on you.
I carried you.
Yeah, you did. So what's your story?
Now, you want to know? All right. I was seeing this guy. 4 months. It was good. 2 weeks ago, it all came apart. Feel better?
4 months? It's almost like forever for you. So why can't you say that? It doesn't mean you're weak. Sometimes stuff just falls apart. You know, if that's what it is, then... Betty, what?
Who needs a guy when you got a bottle, eh? Don't worry, you missed it. Me drinking my face off for days. Just drinking and drinking till I couldn't see. You remember? Drinking, puking, falling into walls, pissing the bed. Lucky I didn't bruise myself. Lost a few pounds. What the hell, eh? Came somewhere I thought could help. Find my best friend, the coldest, hardest bitch. There's other friends, there's other places I can go. I don't need you. I don't need you!
Jesus, Betty! Stop it!
How come you're so strong?
Oh, God. Because you made me strong. Remember, you gave me my life. Me and 1,000 others.
I can't carry anybody anymore.
Oh, good. You don't have to. You don't have to.
I'm so scared. I'm gonna die alone in a dirty room someplace and nobody to close my eyes. Oh, Mitch, he was so good to me. So sweet. And I couldn't let him near me. I don't like booze. Makes me stupid.
You're leaving?
For the time being. I can lean towards misadventure if you'll take that over suicide. Politically, it's more palatable.
Look, that can't be what happened.
If you plan to venture other theories, you better have the bullet and the body. I won't besmirch a dead man's reputation.
That wasn't my intention.
I'm sure it wasn't. But you had a man come in here and maybe die of isolation. I don't know if he connected with you. Certainly no one else seems to miss him. It wasn't your fault, but it's something to remember.
be outside.
There's nothing I can say to tell you how sorry I am for what I did. I can't ask you to forgive me.
Then what are you doing here?
What I did was unforgivable.
Lois said that.
You see, I didn't. I couldn't see how I'd even be okay. As a dad, I mean, and not even good, just okay. I don't know what happened.
You left. That's what happened.
Bruno Vorster, he had a cool dad. Except he was never around. He was on the boats, but he was cool. And one day he died out there. Bruno, he hated him for that. But we tried to tell him, like, hey, at least you had a dad, and he was pretty cool. Even if he wasn't around, like Mickey Burns' dad, he was around all the time. He used to kick the crap out of him. So he used to try and think up ways to kill the guy. And Bob, my foster dad,
I don't need your stories, excuses. TV's dad had enough. You can go.
I can't.
Get up. You look silly.
I can't go, Lois. I love you more than anything.
I can't count on you.
Please, just let me try.
Get off the floor.
Expecting someone?
Did I put this down?
It's up to you. Wherever Brian went, he had help getting there.
If Brian is dead, we both know who's responsible.
You crossed the line, Albert. If I die, there'll be a dozen more behind me.
No, there's only one of you.
You watch where you point that gun. I could misunderstand so easily.
I'm sorry to hear about that guy leaving.
Oh, well, yeah, well, thing is, I walked.
Charlie around? Charlie? Come here. Brian left them. He wanted you to have them.
Really?
Charlie, come here, let me see. Wow, some of these cards are old, almost old as me. George Armstrong, Indian. Reg Leach, Indian. Stan Jonathan, Theron Fleury, Stan Makita,
He was Czech or something.
Yeah, but we always said he was Indian. This deck is stacked. Somebody's done their homework.
What do you think?
He went too far. Couldn't kill you. Couldn't come back.
But why would he leave his gun?
Gun's not gonna help him there. Back in a couple miles, there's a bad place. Place you wouldn't go. Say the ground opens.
How would Brian know?
He wouldn't. Unless something told him. Nahka or something. Found him, led him there.
That's not something I can put in a report.
Price of being a cop. Sometimes you gotta ignore the truth.